You are now listening to Artists at Work.
Artists at Work.
Artists at Work. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Artists at Work podcast. I'm your host, 1AM, and this is an exciting episode because we're at the finale of season 2, and we got my friend No Morals in the studio. It's like we're in person, so go ahead, No Morals, introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm No Morals. You're Jose Cruzian, Santa Cruz transplant from San Jose. I'm a hip hop artist, reggae artist, musician, hip hop MC, poet, photographer, creative person. That's all that matters, right? I do things.
Yep. Podcast about independent art and an independent artist. So a little background, we met at the Santa Cruz Hip Hop Festival back in what?
That would have been 2016. Shout out to Mike Mulder.
Yeah.
Met a lot of people through Mike Mulder.
Yeah. So for all the people who don't know who you are, go ahead and give us a background of how you got started, you know, your name and everything.
Yeah, it honestly all begins with I was in a band that would eventually be called World Hates Nature, and I met this cat, Christian Ford Marcellos, who goes by Breeze Deep now. Back then he was going by Cafum, which is his initials. It's a crazy name, Christian Anthony Ford Marcellos. And yeah, he went by Cafum, and he was rapping and producing while also being the drummer of our band. And we just found pretty quickly that we were really bored being in the band. Like, I don't want to name names, but the other person that was in the band wasn't really giving us the creative freedom that we wanted. And he and I wanted to be more like heavy, like metal, or experiment with reggae. And the other person just wanted to be stuck in a box. So we started rapping and like making beats. Basically, it was just like, man, you got lyrics. You're writing all the lyrics for these rock songs. Like, you need to rap with me. You're an incredible lyricist. I'm like, bro, I'm too white. I can't rap, dude. People aren't going to take me serious. I always appreciated the craft. You know, I grew up on everything from Wu-Tang Clan to Mos Def to Tupac to MF Doom. Everything from conscious, lyrical, whatever. Weirdo rap, you could say, like MF Doom and Del Defunky Homo Sapien to, you know, got Biggie on the back of my shirt, but, you know, Biggie, NWA, the gangster shit, and the concert stuff. And I just didn't want to disrespect the craft, but he just pushed me, and I started freestyling, and I just fell in love with it. And we just got bored with the band, so I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna see what I can do with this. And I remember I had this friend who wasn't a musician, but he was a music lover, and he was more so in the world of like metal and punk and stuff. And I sent him some of my raps, and he's like, "This is way better than your band. Like, this is way better." And I was all offended. I was just like, I put all my energy into my band.
Yeah.
You think my little like silly freestyle on a voice memo on my phone is like better than my band? And I just thought about it. I'm just like, maybe I could potentially be a unique face in hip hop. Maybe I do have something to bring to the culture. And yeah, it was a long process, but I eventually became very comfortable, and I just put hours and hours in the studio and just writing in Breeze Deep's, basically in his bedroom, and recording in his closet. And we just were doing the back and forth thing, you know, like Beastie Boys or anything. We're just like, you know, everyone's vocals and you're backing them up. And if it wasn't for Breeze Deep, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at, or I wouldn't have had the experience. And that's basically how I first started the transition from just playing bass and basically like screaming in bands and singing to actually letting my lyrics really shine and be heard.
Okay. How did your name come about? What's the significance of that?
That's also connected to Breeze Deep in a way because of our buddy Jibo. Basically, yeah, my real name, my government name is Kyle Morrill. So it actually started out, my initials are KAM, Kyle Andrew Morrill. So I was first Kush in music because I've always been like, I was always a little stoner when I was younger. I was always smoking a lot of weed, and I always loved OG Kush. So it was just Kush and music. And then from there, my buddy Jibo was just like, hey, your last name's Moral. You should be no morals. You should be no morals. I'm like, oh shit. I'm just like, that's kind of cool. It's kind of hard. And I just kind of thought about it. Just like, I don't want people to think I don't have morals.
Hmm.
So I changed it to KNOW morals. And then I remember my pop is like, you should spell it though, like your last name, Morrills. I'm just like, no, Dad. Like that's too, what's the word? Esoteric. Because not everybody's gonna know that's my real name.
Hmm.
So yeah, I gotta give all the credit to Jibo for sure.
It's harder for me to imagine like you screaming in a band. I never knew that.
Oh, yeah. I was a bassist, and yeah, people really, yeah, back then, a lot of people doing that sort of music, they respected me more for my for my screams than my bass playing. Honestly, people were really digging it. But yeah, that came to an end. I actually got a respiratory infection from screaming in
Mm.
bands.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I wasn't screaming the right way. Apparently, it sounded good to people that are into that sort of hardcore music, but yeah, I like went to the hospital with a respiratory infection because of. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure mainly because of that. So
Yeah, and you already have like a deep voice, so I can
yeah,
only imagine it probably put a lot of strain,
yeah. I
you
mean,
know.
think I'm thankful for that respiratory infection because it probably made my voice even deeper. Honestly,
Hmm. It's unique about that's the unique thing about you. It's like your look, your sound, your lyrics, and your voice. Like,
I
well,
appreciate
obviously,
it.
you know.
Yeah. The voice is the moneymaker. I mean, it was a Gangstar. Guru and DJ Premier. Gangstar is one of my biggest influences. Some people say I actually sound like Guru, but he had the song I think on uh, song that had or the album that had mass appeal on it. I'm blanking on the name of the album, but it was the song. It's the voice that makes you jump.
Yeah.
The song, the voice, and I was just like, okay. Okay. Like one thing I definitely wanted to address, and I always talk about this when I'm talking about hip hop. I don't think you're a dope MC if you don't have everything. You have to have the lyrics, the
Hmm.
delivery, the voice, the stage presence, everything. If you have great lyrics and great delivery, but I hate your voice, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to listen to your music. So yeah,
That's true.
I
That's
think
true.
I think I have a balance, and I think I've honed my balance at this point to a T to what I really want to create. So the music I'm gonna drop soon, and some of the tracks I've dropped more recently is like getting closer and closer to like this perfect balance and vision.
Nice, nice. So you're just constantly working on your craft,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Because I feel like I've just dropped so much music. I'm just cringing at it. There's one thing, it's not balanced. Like I
Yeah.
don't like what my voice sounds like. The mix and the master is off. So yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you
I feel
for the
it.
respect.
So I want to ask you: are you like, do you consider yourself an independent artist, and
Yeah.
explain, like what that is to you?
I mean, I've always booked my own shows. I've always found my own connections as far as a producer. I've never, I've never asked anyone be like, "Oh yeah, can you just like hook me up with people that make beats?" I'm like, no, I'm gonna find people on my own.
Mm.
I'm going to, if I need assistance, like booking a venue or something, of course. But I'm generally always the person, booking the venue myself. Always the person, booking the studio session. I've never had someone be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to manage you and do all this and that for you." The only person that ever did anything like that for me was really James Butcher. Shout out to DJ Butch Swim.
Nice.
He introduced me to Mike Mulder,
Okay.
which opened up every door for me.
Right.
Met Lyrical Eye, met Bazooka Joe, met Max Swan, met Unanimous, met you, met a lot of incredible people.
That's pretty dope because you're like your own manager. You handle your own promo, and honestly, like networking is, I want to say, like one of the biggest skills to have. So, kind of like, tell me, and tell us about the networking process for you, because I know, like, I know you know a lot of people, and you're always like going to shows, you're always meeting new people and networking. So, kind of like explain that process to us, and like give us advice on how to even go about networking, as an artist.
Um, Networking as far as booking shows specifically,
Mhm.
you have to be respectfully annoying. You gotta just spam people, but in a very respectful way. If they do not get back to you immediately, you gotta be consistent. As far as networking, as far as going to shows and or meeting people at shows, just gotta go. And you got to you can't be too introverted. That's what it really is. I've missed out on opportunities, I think when I was younger, just being too shy,
Mm.
like not coming up to the artist
Yeah.
or not messaging or emailing an artist. I met some artists that are definitely like really well known, and they're like completely respectful, and like they're super down to be part of whatever you're doing or have you be part of their show
Mm-hmm.
or give you a cheap collabo or just, you know, hop on your track for free. I've actually never paid for anyone to be on my music.
Wow.
I've just wanted to connect with the people I wanted to connect with, but as far as pay to play, you're probably going to have to pay to play when you start out. We've all done that once, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We've all done that once, but you'll get to a certain level where you're gonna get paid, even if it's like $10. If you consistently do it, you're gonna get some money from whatever the bar ticket sales. It's honestly just about being consistent, and you can't be too shy with networking of any kind.
How are you like sustaining yourself as an independent artist, I guess, in the music business? Because it's like in the music, it's like if you're not, if you don't have a label behind you, you're doing all the work. But how are you like maintaining that? How are you able to like sustain yourself, you know?
Honestly, all you got to do nowadays, if you aren't signed to a label, you just need a distribution website. And then from there, you just need to, as I said, stay consistent, put the music out there. And as long as you're consistently doing it, someone's going to buy it or listen to it. Um, as far as stuff that I haven't done yet, I actually have never dropped an actual music video, and I've never had any merchandise. I've literally, this whole career has just been performing and releasing music. So that is the next step, is music videos and merch. Like honestly, even like an album, I'm not even worried about dropping a full album until I have like stuff like that. That's another thing. I want to have stuff to sell at shows.
Yeah.
That's the one thing, the one L I've really taken is doing all these shows, but I don't have a sticker to hand out. I don't have an album. I would say my biggest issue as far as navigating being an artist is as far as networking with the wrong people.
Mm.
Like the wrong producer, the wrong engineer, and a laptop is fried. Or they try to steal your music. If you are working sometimes with a small independent label, I've had people, oh yeah, I'm not sure where those files went. Then I talked to
Mm.
another engineer that works for the same label and like, oh yeah, we got these right here. Like, oh, someone's lying. Someone's not telling the truth. So I've dropped like a couple EPs, but I've never had like a full album because the accumulation of music has never gone that far
Yeah.
because of people like effing me over in the process. So
Mhm.
navigating, it's honestly, to answer your question, it's just goes back to consistency and being careful who you network with.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know how I've been navigating, and I know how to navigate in the future. I know I just need an album that's tangible and merch, and then boom, that's where I'm actually going to move forward.
Yeah. Honestly, I think you brushed up on an important point. Like how, like especially as an independent when you're networking with people, like what should we look out for the bad engineer, or you know what I mean? Like how do we know who's like good intentions and who's bad? Like what are some things that you've learned along the way that are like, okay, you meet someone, I know like you probably got good intentions, or this person I don't want to mess with, you know?
I mean, you know, I could say all the hippie shit, you know, energy and all that, and just like following your intuition and just feeling out people's intentions when you first meet them. But it's not that simple. You
Mhm.
honestly just need to get to know people. And I've known some people for years, and then they've stabbed me in the back musically. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that basically sums it up. It's honestly, they say, as far as like business, you don't want to, work with friends or family. But I feel like with music, some of the best music is made with like your brothers or sisters you've known forever that, like, are super talented, but you also know they aren't going to fuck you over, because music is no different from anything. I don't care how talented you are. Some of the most talented people I met in my life are awful people.
Mm,
So
I feel that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know. I know. I've gone through some sketchy stuff.
yeah,
And I like for me, I kind of just kept my circle a little bit smaller and smaller as things happen. So it's just like, yeah. So just like you said, just feeling people out and really getting to know them and seeing what are the fruits of their life look like, and then you can kind of figure out like, okay, this person
exactly.
probably doesn't have any good intentions.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, why are you making music? Are you making music just to make money or to get laid, or sometimes even like psychologically? Are you trying to manipulate people with your music?
Mhm.
Are you like casting a spell that's like good or bad,
Mhm.
basically? Like, are you trying to unify people? Or are you trying to inform people? Or are you just trying to get something off of your chest? Like, are you using music as like therapy? Because correct me if I'm wrong, like a lot of your music
Yeah.
seems like it's
They're
definitely therapeutic.
therapeutic for
And
me, yeah.
same here, like dealing with a lot of death of friends, and just a
Mhm.
lot of hard times. A lot of my music right now is focusing on mental health in a very um blatant way. I'm
Mhm.
like literally just talking about that rather than just talking about like stuff I have in the past, like psychedelics and more metaphysical stuff. I'm just, yeah, talking about friends dying, talking about mental
Yeah.
health, like very just like getting straight to that point. So
Yeah. It's yeah, music is like it's a gift, when it as like when it comes to like therapeutical stuff, at least for me, like it's gotten me through a lot, just either listening to it or writing it, or just so that's what's up. And yeah, I just want to again like say like we enjoy your music, and I really respect that about you, that you're very just down to earth, both in person and in your music. So I had another question too that I was curious about, is like what, because you do a lot of different, you said you did a few different genres, right?
yeah.
What is your process in like creating music, and like how do you transition into which genre the song is going to be for and all that?
Hmm. Now you're stumping me, because I just create. I mean, I love all. As I was saying, we got this beautiful record collection over here. There's like psychedelic rock and Flying Lotus and
Mhm.
Howlin' Wolf, which is old school blues, and BB King. Like, resonate with all of that, honestly. So it kind of depends what we're doing.
Mhm.
Like, do I just have a beat? Am I making music with shout out to my brother Brandon Taxeria,
Mhm.
who's that's me, him and I are basically Pocket Full of Earth. It was my reggae side project. Yeah, like, do I have Brandon with me? Is it just me and a bass guitar, and I'm going to just like try to vocalize while I play that? Like, excuse me. It's kind of just based on, it's a carpenter. Like, what tools does the carpenter have? Like, what are we working with? What's applicable to the music? So I don't know, it's whatever I feel at the moment.
Mhm.
Often, I've actually, it's funny, you can look up like No Morals, The Medicine Man Never Dies, or um uh, what is it, on SoundCloud? I think the song's called Plant Medicine. I've made beats back when I went to West Valley College, just because I had a DAW, Logic Pro X, and I've never made beats before. My music came out as like almost like weird, trippy, aggressive, almost like EDM. So I just like playing different instruments, or just doing different genres on the microphone depending on how I'm feeling or what I'm using, or
Okay.
what the beat is. And also, yeah, if I'm collaborating with someone, that's all it is. If it's a musician or another MC, just going to act accordingly to what they're doing. Because we were talking about this earlier
Mm-hmm.
about someone who shall not be named that you were supposed to do a collabo with, and what they brought to the table wasn't applicable to the topic of the song.
Right.
That's a big pet peeve for me. If we're doing a track and you're rapping about something completely different than I'm rapping about, and even if we're rapping about different stuff, if it's just like completely incompatible,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm probably not going to have you on the track once you send me your verse.
Yeah.
But if it's like we aren't necessarily on the same topic, but it works and it sounds good, that's stream of consciousness. You know, that's fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's incompatible, if I'm talking about like like a buddy of mine said they did a song, like a love song, and one of the homies like had a verse and he was like all creepy in his verse, like what he was saying like came off of as creepy and it's supposed to be a song for the ladies and stuff. It's like, yeah, that's not gonna work. Like if I have a song that's like let's just say if we have a song that's like most of my music isn't like this, but some song that's like aggressive and talking about like fake people, and then you're talking about daffodils and daisies and puppy dogs, you know, that's not really gonna work. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's a lot of factors that I guess.
Yeah. So it's depending how I'm feeling. But for the most part, as I'm sure you can relate with, the beat tells you what to say a lot of the
Yeah.
time. Like
Yeah.
you just need to sit there with your headphones on, do whatever you normally do to get in that creative space, be alone or whatever, and just listen to the beat on the speaker with the headphones on, and just let the beat tell you almost what genre or what style or what topic it's going to
Yeah.
be. So it's a really simple, really simple response to your question with a lot of words.
Okay. When you do get in that state of mind where you're ready to create something, and if let's just say you're starting from scratch, there's no beat, no nothing. Where do you usually find yourself? Do you find yourself in hip hop realm or reggae realm, or in between maybe?
I mean, for sure hip hop realm, but I mean, my that's a hard question because I feel like obviously my voice and my ability as a writer is just hip hop is like the most natural. But what I like listening to the most is reggae.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's my favorite. I feel like the best lyricists alive are reggae lyricists because that's applicable to my going back to my morals and values.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like unless you're a hardcore Rasta or just a Rasta, one of the Rastas that you know, you want to kill gay people, or you're oppressing women,
Mm-hmm.
or you hate white people. If you're making reggae music or a Rasta making reggae music, that I think is the real roots and the real what reggae music really feels like to me and what it means to me,
Mm-hmm.
then I feel like that resonates with me more than a lot of hip hop music. Because I feel like it's just about unifying people and teaching people and having people come together and enjoy music, despite religion, despite race, despite gender. And I feel like that's what music is all about to me. And I feel like reggae personifies that. But at the same time, I'm a hip hop artist and like a musician. I'm a hip hop artist and a bassist first and foremost.
Okay.
Like that's really my first instrument that I really fell in love with was bass, and the second was my voice. My first was guitar, and that just wasn't for me. I don't like strumming. I don't like playing chords. I like playing bass.
Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah,
ding.
yeah. Well, I mean, even like playing strumming and playing chords and bass. I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like a lot more artistic freedom playing bass guitar, and that also, you know, resonates with me as far as having a deep voice too.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I am a bass. So
It's funny when you talk like and you like explain stuff. It just makes me like want to ask more questions, but I want to kind of, I guess there's two different routes I can go, but I'm going to ask like one of the questions that's like on my mind is like how has like learning an instrument been for you in terms of like where you are now, like as a hip hop artist who plays bass?
It's everything. It's
Mm-hmm.
everything. Like that cat that I told you is basically the reason I started rapping. Breeze Deep.
Mm-hmm.
He, I don't know why. Yeah, I do know why I'm talking about you so much. Well, I should have just had you with me, Christian. His real name is Christian. But yeah, no, he started out playing piano as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and then he started playing drums. He was like into like, correct me if I'm wrong, Christian, when we meet up next, but like Slipknot and like kind of like those sort of metal bands, and death metal and all. He was into all different genres of music, reggae, metal, whatever. He
Mm-hmm.
was playing drums, and then from there, he in high school, if I'm not wrong, he started producing, and so he just took what he was doing as far as being a musician and just translated it to the MIDI keyboard
Mm-hmm.
or just like making beats and rapping. So I feel like, yeah, I mean, you learn, verse, chorus, measures. It's the same thing. Like when I went to West Valley College, I was like, I don't know how to mess with this MIDI keyboard. And my buddy was like, just play it like a bass. I'm like, okay, it kind of made sense to me. So it's just music is music. It's all kind of universal. If you play an instrument and you're trying to rap, I feel like it's probably gonna be easier. But I don't know. Some people I know, a lot of people, like my buddy Brandon, he's an incredible musician, but even when he writes these songs, the bass, the guitar, the drums, he has a looper, so he'll do everything. He basically Pocket Full of Earth. At the end of it, we turn into a one man band, or
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, a 2-man band. Yeah,
That's
me
great.
being part of the band. But yeah, no, he will write all these songs with all the instrumentation, but he won't even name the song, let alone write the lyrics. So I
Mm-hmm.
know people that are some of the most talented musicians on this planet, but they don't write lyrics
Mm-hmm.
and they aren't maybe good with words with or without music. Not saying Brandon, you're bad with words, like in conversation, like you're awkward when we're talking, but he just doesn't write lyrics. And then I know plenty of people that are like diehard hip hop fans, and you're just like freestyle with me, and like even yeah, they got a good voice, they got like a good energy, they're all like steezy, they got their swag, but they just can't rap to save their life.
Mm.
So yeah, I think it's just some people were born with certain talents and some people aren't, and then some people can definitely it's just time, effort, and repetition, and some people are too shy
Mm.
to rap
Yeah.
or do certain things, or their body won't allow them to play a certain instrument. Like some people have too, I don't know, small of hands or sensitive hands to play a stringed instrument or
Yeah. Yeah.
something. But yeah, as far as music theory and yeah, I went to West Valley College for 2 years and I took a bunch of music classes and I took music theory, and when my buddy dropped out, I didn't drop out. I just stopped going because he
Mm.
was helping me.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the other music building and just make beats. Like I'm just like, no, I'm gonna fail this class. Like I uh, I really wanted to focus on school, but I think I was just like too much focused on. I was too focused on being a music artist. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do so
Yeah.
badly that I never, yeah, even when I was young, I had a couple guitar lessons, maybe like months worth of guitar lessons when I was like in the 5th grade. And then in high school, I only had 2 bass lessons, and
Mhm.
both bass lessons were like a half an hour. So it just taught me like stance, like where to put my fingers and scales.
Okay.
So I knew scales, and I would like learn songs based on tablature, if you know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. I don't know music theory. I don't there's a lot of things I don't know, and people get surprised like, "Oh, it's in this key, it's in that." I'm just like, "I bet. Don't tell me, just play it." And
Yeah.
I'll follow you. I'll be able to follow you, but I'm not well versed in like being classically trained by any means. I'm a renegade by all means. I just like pick things up by ear or just jamming with people. I think that's why I'm actually good at freestyling
Yeah.
as far as rapping, because I've always been freestyling as a musician, and I to this day, like, I'm just not into covers as a musician. I'm not into it. I'd rather write something with you or just jam. So
Nice.
I think I answered your question to an
Yeah, yeah.
extent.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good. I have, I guess, one question that could be either good or bad. But I ask it with the intention of like, I guess just curiosity is like, what race are you, and how is that, I guess, affected anything in your musical journey, especially hip hop?
Yeah, I'm glad you answered that, and I feel like I'm judged before they hear me rap. I feel like love performing in like I like performing in the hood. I'll be straight up, because I feel like I get some of the most love from some of the scariest, biggest dudes. Like I just love just getting respect from people that is almost like unexpected. Just me looking the way I look, and yeah, no, so my mom is mainly German actually, but we don't know exactly. This is a whole thing. My mom would probably like throw a pillow at me when she sees this podcast, because she doesn't think it's true. But her excuse me, my grandfather, her father was in an orphanage and had all these siblings, and they didn't know their biological parents.
Mm.
But the way he looked and what I've been told from other members of the family, that we do have Native American in our blood. So basically, other than that, it's all European. My dad is Irish, Scottish, Welsh, British, all of the ish, and my mom is mainly German, and then I think there's a splash of little things, maybe a little bit of French, a little bit of this and that, but I'm mainly all Irish, Scottish, German, all that stuff.
That's really cool.
But I've always, even if it's I don't know, I've always resonated with the native side more
Yeah.
than any of the European
I feel it.
colonizers.
Yeah, yeah.
To be real, yeah.
No, yeah, I feel it. It's definitely easy to, like, if I didn't know you, it'd just be like, oh, it's just another white dude, you know? But
Exactly.
like getting to know you, and it's like, that's really cool. Yeah, because like I'm the same way. I'm not really sure too much about my background, but I do know that I am a Mexican for sure. I'm Italian, and then I got some native in me. I have maybe Russian, who knows? Like there's some, splash of different things. My grandfather was in an orphanage as well, so he looks Spanish to me. He's got blue eyes, he's pretty light skinned, so it's like
Yeah.
pretty interesting, like how people, judge you first.
Yeah.
But same with me. I'm a woman and I'm short, and then when I get on the stage, it's like just completely different. So
Oh yeah, no, exactly.
I definitely relate on that with you.
Yeah, for sure. Shattering the preconceived conception or misconception, or yeah. No, if you saw my grandpa Bud, who passed when I was younger, he did not look like some white dude. He was like squinty eyes, dark skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, that's pretty cool. And I'm glad that we have this conversation and actually open it up. So people like listening at home, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what music's all about and what my music is all about, because yeah, I'll just leave it there. I
Yeah.
could elaborate, but
Hell yeah. So we're coming up to the final, I guess, the final throw. I don't know what you would say.
the final countdown.
The final countdown of this interview. You definitely have a lot going on. I know that you're always putting in work. So kind of let us know what you have in store, what you're working on, what shows coming up, and then where people could find you.
Yeah, we got the show that you're gonna be a part of. We got 1 a.m. Lil MC, Con, myself opening, I believe, before everybody else, and then the headliner is Chewy, and before him there's gonna be Abstract Ninja which is Imaginary Other, which is
Yes.
Chewy's producer.
April
And
28th.
April 28th at Urbani Cellar in Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
And yeah, shout out to DJ Mike. DJ Mike's our official DJ now.
Dope.
We just booked him last night. Yeah, and shout out to my friend Yoki, who's in cahoots with me, booking this Chewy show on the 28th. He's a local scientist and stand-up comedian, and yeah, we're booking this show together. And from there, yeah, there's gonna be some May dates. Me and DJ Mike will have some things popping off. As far as the music, Aztec Ruins, this Bay Area super dope MC, indigenous cat. He will be dropping a track with me and Lyrical I featured. Sam Stockwell, who goes by Dismiss Fit, he and I have a song about mental health. That's gonna be dropping soon as well. And yeah, lots of things. I'm actually really focusing on reggae collaborations, and I'm gonna keep that private. But I got so many things. I'm not even gonna talk about all the music that's coming out, but I'm gonna focus on a lot more solo music after these collaborations. But I'm probably gonna have like 4 or 5 singles that are collaborations with hip hop and reggae artists. One of those reggae artists being someone I really look up to. He's really big in the underground reggae scene. So
where can people find you?
My house. No, you can find me everywhere except as far as my music, I've stopped uploading new music on SoundCloud, but I think I'm gonna backtrack and drop all the last music I've dropped on SoundCloud, just because I know some people only listen to music on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna at least drop my track Balance. I dropped in 2020 on there. And then my track Cult Classic I dropped last year. I'm going to put on SoundCloud. And if you haven't heard the last song I dropped, the first song I dropped of this year's Ja Don't Play, parentheses experimental reggae, featuring my boy Listen. Shout out to Listen, I'm Barely Functional. All those songs, all the most recent songs are on every platform except SoundCloud. So, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, everything except SoundCloud and Bandcamp, basically.
So I will be including that information in the description. And any final thoughts before we close it out?
One love to everybody supporting underground music. I mean, I feel like I've been talking so much. I'm gonna shut up. And I love you all. And yeah, definitely stay tuned for some great local events.
Yeah, thank you again for coming onto the podcast. Make sure you guys please go follow No Morals, and if you're local, please come out and support. Check out a show. He's always active in the community, so that's what's up. If you guys enjoy these podcasts, please go on Spotify and rate 5 stars, whatever stars that you feel. Please come check us out on YouTube, and there will be potential ciphers coming soon, so please stay tuned for that. And once again, this is Artists at Work podcast. Thank you.
Fingers crossed. And not because she's here, but check out 1 a.m. Windows Side B.
Hell yeah.
Check out Con, the Orange Tape.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the exact name of it, but I've listened to it and it's dope. And did I leave out Con's name? No, I think I said Con. Con's going to be at the Chewy show too. Yeah. So yeah, for sure. Check out those 2 things.
Thank you guys for listening. This is Artists at Work podcast. Peace.